So, so we're gonna be working out how to do support and resistance. After that, we're gonna do trend lines and counter trend lines. But first, you need to know if market is going up, down, left, right. Um, Also, you're gonna show you how to put everything together with the entries and at least how to take one trade or to break the market down. So, price moves in two directions. It either moves up, making higher highs, going up like that, and then you got the trend line there, or it's moving in lower lows. And you want to work from the higher time frames because that's where you're going to get the less noise, less confusion. It's just more clear what the price is doing. It's just more clear what the market was doing. It's just more easier. Or so you got higher highs. So when price is trending, higher, lower, or sideways. Let me get rid of that one. That looks wonky. Let's move it up here. Yeah. So think of this as ping pong. So you got these two bats batting price from one end to the other. You can also think it as a ceiling and a floor. So you got price moving up to the ceiling. When it breaks through, eventually it will come down and then bounce off that new resistance becomes support. So whatever was the ceiling becomes the floor. So if I break down through the floor, because I break through because the floor might have been made out of plasticine, that will be my next ceiling when I drop down to the room below me. And it's the same thing with price. Whatever price has trouble breaking through, it becomes support in the future. So that's something that you need to figure out. So price only moves three ways. It either moves up, trending, down, trending, or sideways, consolidation. Um, this when it's moving up, it's bullish. Moving down, it's called bearish. Bearish. Think of a bear jumping out of a tree. I know it's weird, but think of a bear jumping out of a tree. Opposite, think of a bull um, hitting the dirt into the air with its horns. It's moving things up into the air. So that's how I learned it when when I was going through the terminology. So these are the three phases of price that you need to know. So sideways, up, or down, and that's it. But now you need to know the points that the market is going to have a high probability of turning. So you need to look at the price ranges of how price moves. So we're going to start on the weekly. Actually, no, let's start on the monthly. And we need to see if it's doing higher highs or lower lows. So with the current price, let me remove that. So with the current price, you can see if we go to the line chart that NZD USD is making higher highs. So before it's doing up, down, and then a lower high, and then down, and now it's making higher highs, up, down, and then it broke structure here, and then a nice higher high. Now it's come down. Now, after you expect at least 1, 2, 3, you expect to have this point where it does a lower low and then it makes a new higher high. Then you expect to know lower low and then higher high. Depending on how price breaks through is how you're gonna see how price. So price goes. Let me take out the brush. Price will go up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now, if it breaks this point, this lower low, this last lower low, goes below it, does a nice lower low, you can expect price to go back into the opposite direction. If you see it break two lower lows, there's a high probability that price is going to keep going down. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. If it breaks that support, so it's going up, going up, going up, and then if it breaks that support, this is the last lower low. If it breaks that support and then goes sideways, usually it's stuck between buyers and sellers. not being able to get the majority, not allowed to get to the momentum, so they'll be stuck going side to side, and you're waiting for price. So when you're in a ranging market, you want to look more towards support and resistance trades. If you're in a trending market, you're going to be looking more into trending trades. So now we see that New Zealand US dollar is making higher highs. We're expecting a new lower low. That's the more high probability. The market does what it wants, but you get a nice, good indication of where price is moving, and it's moving. So let me move this squiggle, because I don't know why it's there. Move this squiggle. Okay, it's not moving. Let's leave that for now, because we're gonna move on to doing the support and resistance. So you got price moving in ranges, and you're gonna find the last range that NZD USD is in. You're gonna make sure that it's at least within 1,000 pips range. So let's check. 2, 3. So this is at least, that's 1,000, 2,000. So it's just around about 1,500, which is okay. So try and think of at least 1,500, between 1,500 and 1,000 pip range. So right now that's how price is moving, and all we're going to do is we're going to take the current range that NZD USD is in. So you're going to take a horizontal tube and move it until it's around the same distance between 2 points. So here and here. So you want to go to the trend line, because it'll give you a nice little line to measure it. And then you need to move this up, double click in, and then we're just gonna add a nice horizontal line. So that's because that's the current one. I'm gonna move this down to here, move this up, and again right there, and then move this above. So they're around about the same distance. Right then, and you can see price has been bouncing around these levels. So let's move one more, make one more. So you can do this on cryptocurrencies, you can do this on Forex, it doesn't really matter. But these are good resistance points. So you need to find the range, the recent range that price has been moving in on the weekly. You need to go into the monthly and see if price has been making higher highs or lower lows. And you can also look at these moving averages. I'll tell you more about those in the next video. But yeah, and then we've got this horizontal line. Yeah, and you can see that price respects these lines. You go into the smaller time frame, you can see that price respects this line right here. Sometimes it breaks through and then breaks down. So yeah, so that's support and resistance, and we're going to move into trend lines and counter trend lines.